Title: My Husband Had a Wish. And I said yes, safe version. It all began on a calm evening in our suburban home in Ohio. My name is Emily Turner, and I've been married to my husband Daniel for over 12 years. We met during our college years, built our careers together, and eventually bought a cozy house where we dreamed of raising our 2 kids. Life was comfortable, but like any couple, we faced our share of challenges, compromises, and little unspoken dreams. Daniel was a steady and kind man, someone who rarely asked for anything beyond the simple joys of life: time with family, a peaceful home, and an occasional fishing trip with friends. I, on the other hand, often overthought things, constantly juggling work, home, and kids, leaving little time to pause and reflect on what we both wanted as individuals. One evening after the kids had gone to bed, Daniel and I sat in the backyard, watching the glow of fireflies dance across the lawn. It was one of those quiet nights where the air seemed heavy with unspoken thoughts. Daniel held his coffee mug, stared at the sky for a moment, and then said softly, "Emily, I have a wish." I looked at him curiously. He wasn't someone who often voiced personal wants, so his words caught me off guard. "A wish?" I asked with a small smile. "Like a bucket list wish?" He chuckled. "Sort of. It's something I've been thinking about for a while, but I wasn't sure how to bring it up." My heart raced a little. Was he about to confess something life-changing? The silence stretched, but then he continued, his voice steady. "I've always dreamed of taking a road trip across the country. No strict schedules, no flights, no rushing. Just you, me, the car, and the open road. I want us to see the mountains, the deserts, the oceans. I want us to experience that kind of freedom together." For a moment, I just stared at him. A road trip. That was his big wish. Relief washed over me, followed by excitement. "Daniel," I said, laughing softly, "why didn't you tell me this sooner? Of course, we can do it." And just like that, a spark was lit in our marriage. Planning the trip became our new project. We mapped routes, researched national parks, and chose quirky roadside attractions we wanted to see. Our kids, 12-year-old Jacob and 9-year-old Lily, were thrilled at the idea of camping under the stars and seeing places they had only read about in school. We decided to turn Daniel's wish into a full family adventure, one that would take us from Ohio to California and back. The morning we left was filled with laughter and chaos. Lily insisted on bringing her stuffed bunny, Jacob argued over what snacks to pack, and Daniel made sure the car was stocked with emergency supplies. I brewed extra coffee for the road and slipped into the passenger seat, smiling as Daniel started the engine. His wish was finally coming true. The first leg of the journey took us through the rolling hills of Kentucky, where we stopped at small diners and local museums. We listened to old songs on the radio and played word games to pass the time. Daniel drove with a look of pure contentment, the kind of joy that comes when a dream you've held quietly is finally within reach. As the miles rolled by, something remarkable began to happen. Our family grew closer in ways we hadn't expected. With no daily grind of school runs and work deadlines, we talked more, laughed more, and shared stories that might have otherwise stayed hidden. Jacob opened up about his dreams of becoming an engineer, while Lily confided that she wanted to be an artist. Daniel and I reminisced about our college days, filling the car with nostalgia and laughter. In Tennessee, we camped by a lake and spent the night gazing at the stars. Daniel pointed out constellations, Jacob skipped rocks across the water, and Lily painted the sky with watercolors she had brought along. I remember sitting by the fire, watching my family, and realizing how special this wish truly was, not just for Daniel, but for all of us. Our journey continued westward, through the vast plains of Oklahoma and the breathtaking deserts of New Mexico. We hiked trails, tasted foods we'd never tried before, and collected little souvenirs along the way. Every night, when the kids were asleep, Daniel and I would sit together and talk about how grateful we were for this time. When we finally reached the Grand Canyon, the view left us speechless. Standing at the edge, with the sun setting in brilliant shades of orange and purple, I held Daniel's hand tightly. "Thank you for having this wish," I whispered. "It gave us something unforgettable." He smiled and kissed my forehead. "Thank you for saying yes." By the time we reached California, we had created a treasure chest of memories: beach days, mountain hikes, city adventures, and quiet family moments that would stay with us forever. On the way home, I thought about how easily I could have brushed off Daniel's wish, thinking it was impractical or inconvenient. But saying yes to him had opened a door to something far greater than I imagined. His wish had strengthened our bond, given our kids experiences they would carry into adulthood, and reminded me of the importance of listening not just to the words spoken, but to the dreams quietly held in the heart. When we finally pulled back into our driveway, tired but happy, Daniel turned off the car and looked at me. "Best trip of my life," he said simply. I smiled through tears. "Mine too." That night, as I tucked the kids into their own beds and finally lay down in mine, I realized something powerful. Marriage isn't just about routine or compromise, it's about cherishing each other's wishes, no matter how small or big, and finding ways to make them come true. And so, Daniel's wish became not just his dream fulfilled, but the cornerstone of one of the happiest chapters in our family's story.